Saul and the men of Israel were gathered and camped in the valley of Elah and drew up in battle array to encounter the Philistines. The Philistines stood on the mountain on one side,
Here? Yes.
while Israel stood on the mountain on the other side, with a valley between them.
What a nice description. Philistines are here. Israel is over there. Look at this. I want it to become alive because I want you so much to appreciate why you came here. It's not a coincidence you came, beloved. Yes, you support me, yeah? No, me and my family, and come on, yeah? It's not only ministry, I do it also for, okay? But when you go home, you take a treasure. And again, there is no delete button. Next time you will read this story as a lullaby to your grandchildren or your children, youngly married, yeah? You said, wait, we've been there. All the picture will come out. You will see the valiant ones. You will see the Israelites. Here is Saul. Here is the soldiers. You will see us, the Philistines here.
Then a champion came out from the armies of the Philistines,
Which means from here. From here where you stand. Can you hear the...
named Goliath from Gath, whose height was 6 cubits and a span. He had a bronze helmet on his head, and he was clothed with scale armor which weighed 5,000 shekels of bronze. He also had bronze greaves on his legs and a bronze javelin slung between his shoulders. The shaft of his spear was like a weaver's beam, and the head of his spear weighed 600 shekels of iron. His shield carrier also walked before him. He stood and shouted to the ranks of Israel and said to them, "Why do you come out to draw up in battle array? Am I not the Philistine, and you servants of Saul? Choose a man for yourselves and let him come down to me. If he is able to fight with me and kill me, then we will become your servants. But if I prevail against him and kill him, then you should become our servants and serve us." Again the Philistine said, "I defy the ranks of Israel this day. Give me a man that we may fight together."
I defile whom?
The ranks of Israel.
The ranks of Israel, or in Hebrew, Tzivot Israel, the army, the host of Israel. Are you ready? David will repeat the same thing, but he will say, "You defile the armies of God." Because the Israeli army is only a physical representation of the heavenly hosts. Remember Elisha with Gehazi. Oh, Abba. I am paraphrasing. Please open his eyes. Wow! Many are with us then, okay? So, Israel is the physical manifestation of God's hosts in heaven. That's how much he loves us. Welcome to Israel, beloved. If you don't know, you belong to Israel. Not replacing Israel, but we are side by side. Those who read my books, you know what I mean.
When Saul and all Israel heard these words of the Philistine, they were dismayed and greatly afraid. Now David was the son of the Ephrathite of Bethlehem in Judah,
Which is walking distance in the Elah Valley. By the way, there is a road. There is a road now. I mean the highway. See, look. Highway which takes you to Bethlehem. Are you with me? So back then, they didn't ride nice air-conditioned cars, but nice natural air-conditioned donkeys, yeah? Over here, or camels, or you name it, mules, yeah? David, it's walking distance. You remember how small Israel is? Again, I want the Bible to become alive. David comes from there, Bethlehem. He uses the valley of Elah. Look at it on your maps later on. And he climbs up not this mountain, because this is occupied by Philistines, right? The enemies. But that. And what will be now happens just in front of you.
whose name was Jesse, and he had 8 sons. And Jesse was old in the days of Saul, advanced in years among men. The 3 older sons of Jesse had gone after Saul.
I turned the air conditioning by
Thank you.
just because you're so
Thank you
nice
very much.
reading it.
I appreciate
I
that.
thought you really deserved it.
Thank you.
Okay. Sorry.
He went to the battle with Eliab the firstborn, and the second to him Abinadab, and the third Shammah. David was the youngest. Now the 3 oldest followed Saul.
David was the youngest. Number what?
8.
8. New beginnings! Circumcision, new beginning, 8th day. Are you with me? Noah's Ark, new beginning, 8 souls in the ark. If you understand the pattern, or should I say it even better, if you understand the beginning, you will understand the end. You don't need Dallas Theological Seminary PhD. You will get the fact that the story is the same story, only with different actors and actresses. The message is the same message. Are you with me? David is the eighth. David is going to begin to have Israel experience a new beginning. Okay?
Now the three oldest followed Saul, but David went back and forth from Saul to tend his father's flock at Bethlehem. The Philistines...
To tend, I told you I am good. To tend his father's flock. David is a picture of Yeshua. Yeshua came to the lost sheep of Israel, which are the father's flock. You see what I mean? We are the flock, and the master appointed a shepherd, the good shepherd over us, Yeshua. It's beautiful. He is not learning all his skills in a theological seminary or in a rabbinical school, yeshiva, sorry for this, yeah? Messianic brothers. Life is the school. Life is the school, and guess what? You only graduate when you graduate. It's lifelong.
The Philistine came forward morning and evening for 40 days and took his stand.
How many days?
40.
Experience. Walking the desert 40 years. Saw Moses, Moshe Rabbeinu, on the mountain twice 40 days. Yeshua, etc., etc., etc. You understand the pattern, you understand the story.
Then Jesse said to David his son, Now take for your brothers an ephah of this roasted grain and these 10 loaves, and run to the camp to your brothers. Bring also these 10 cuts of cheese to the commander of their 1,000, and look into the welfare of your brothers, and bring back news of them. For Saul and they and all the men of Israel are in the valley of Elah fighting with the Philistines.
Why David is sent by Jesse? Jesse take him as the picture of the father in heaven. David, his son, Yeshua, is tending the sheep. He's into his father's business, right? And then he needs to look for the peace in the Hebrew, yeah? The shlomam, yeah? For the peace of his brother. That's exactly what Yeshua does.
So David arose early in the morning and left the flock with the keeper and took the supplies and went as Jesse had commanded him. And he came to the circle of the camp while the army was going out in battle array, shouting the war cry. Israel and the Philistines drew up in battle array, army against army. Then David left his baggage in the care of the baggage keeper and ran to the battle line and entered in order to greet his brothers. As he was talking with them, behold, the champion, the Philistine from Gath named Goliath, was coming up from the army of the Philistines, and he spoke these same words, and David heard them. When all the men of Israel saw the man, they fled from him and were greatly afraid.
That's exactly how Israel will flee from its enemies before Yeshua comes to rescue them. Stop, have delusional hopes in the Israeli IDF. I'm sorry, I will break some myths which are not biblical. Yeshua is going to appear to Israel, to the remnant, after such terrible times that if he wouldn't come, nobody would be saved. Which means if we would need to depend on our F-16, F-15, or even F-35 if we want from you, then we don't need Yeshua. Keep it in mind, be realistic, don't have a romantic view of Israel.
The men of Israel said, Have you seen this man who is coming up? Surely he is coming up to defy Israel. And it will be that the king will enrich the man who kills him with great riches, and will give him his daughter and make his father's house free in Israel. Then David spoke to the men who were standing by him, saying, What will be done for the man who kills this Philistine and takes away the reproach from Israel?
Listen carefully.
For who is this uncircumcised Philistine, that he should taunt the armies of the living God?
Armies, remember? He defiled the armies that he saw in the physics, Mr. Goliath, the giant, the descendant of the Raphaim, if you know, yeah? Okay, continue.
The people answered him in accord with this word, saying, Does it will be done for the man who kills him? Now Eliab, his oldest brother, heard when he spoke to the men, and Eliab's anger burned against David, and he said, Why have you come down? And with whom have you left those few sheep in the wilderness? I know your insolence and the wickedness of your heart, for you have come down in order to see the battle.
Okay, guys, beloved, what if I would suggest humbly, by the way, you do not need to take what I say as engraved on stone, as the truth of God. I am a human being like you. I might make mistakes. And if you hear me make a mistake, be gentle, please, because I'm very sensitive. Don't beat me up. Don't throw rotten eggs at me, okay? But come to me privately or not privately. By the way, I will apologize. Wow, I did not see it. Sorry, I'm standing correct. So you don't need to take whatever, but in my research of the Bible, yeah, I have some little knowledge in the Bible, and my limited knowledge tells me that, that there are two orders in the Bible. There is the physical order, the natural one. By the way, as it relates to covenant, there is the order of Levites versus the order of what? Melchizedek. Are you with me? And there is, Rabbi Scott, the order of King Saul and his soldiers who trust on the flesh. And there is the order of David. Nothing is new under the sun. Abinadab, King Saul, which will soon put his armor on David, on this little, fragile youth or whatever, he represents the old order. Beloved, we cannot be, if we want to be, to mature in Yeshua, we cannot try to dance on two weddings. Okay, we cannot. With Messiah, I am crucified. The world is crucified to me. And all that I live now is depending on his love, that he sacrificed himself to forgive my sins. I have a king. I cannot run between different kings. Are you with me? I have a king. He is responsible for my bad times and my good times. But let's continue and you will see how it works with the two orders here.
David said, "What have I done now? Was it not just a question?" Then he turned away from him to another and said the same thing, and the people answered the same thing as before. When the words which David spoke were heard, they told them to Saul, and he sent for him. David said to Saul, "Let no man's heart fail on account of him. Your servant will go and fight with this Philistine." Then Saul said to David, "You are not able to go against this Philistine to fight with him, for you are but a youth, while he has been a warrior from his youth."
And I want to tell all of us, we are not able to fight Satan. Don't be delusional. You know what I mean? Paul speaks about those who comment things, and they don't even know what they are doing, Let's keep humble before the Lord. Let's be in the Shefelah, the low land, low of spirit, meek, humble, and acknowledge our weaknesses. Are you with me? Because unless we acknowledge our weaknesses and our full dependency on him, like David will do, we have no chance to survive what's coming on the world very soon.